Hello YouTube, Jumpy23 here. Welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC. Today we'll be covering Chapter 5X. Chapter 5X is so notated because it gives you a new party, Ephraim's group, who will rejoin after Chapter 8. It's the second longest chapter in the game by turns, but you only have 4 units, so it moves quick. The goal here is to seize, but I have a secondary goal of getting Forde to level 10 and seize swords before Chapter 9. He starts at level 6, so he needs to get a lot of XP very quickly. This will require some rigging. At the start of the map, you already saw me use the suspend and restart trick to change enemy stat rolls. This is because I want Forde to be able to kill these two soldiers in front of him with a steel sword and a javelin respectively, which will require me to roll them down on HP and defense. In order to 6-turn this map, Orson needs a slight rescue boost. To do this, we implement a version of what Don called the 3-step shuffle, by rescue dropping forward Forde on turn 1, and then using Forde to rescue drop forward Orson on turn 2. The previous LTC of this map, to get Forde to level 10 in time, required him to crit this mage in the chest room on enemy phase with a javelin on a 2% crit. By changing the enemy stat rolls on turn 1, I was able to route that out, which is nice. Ephraim's going to be clearing the way for our high move units a couple times, and his HP is very important, so I'm going to rig him to dodge or crit every player phase attack. He only needs one of the two. Both times the crit actually comes first, but a dodge would also suffice. The iron sword that Kyle traded Orson turn 1 is the only weapon he can use to not kill this mercenary with. Like with basically every enemy that Orson doesn't kill, we're keeping him alive to feed him to Forde. And Forde's going to trade up a steel lance on Orson here to weigh him down so that he doesn't double the cavalier that he's going to attack on enemy phase, the one on the right. I bet you can guess why we don't want Orson to double him. Unfortunately, this clear is still fairly unreliable, one bit of which is that Forde has to dodge that archer either this turn or next turn. There's just only so much you can do with needing to feed Forde so hard. Map slowing down for a bit, so I'm going to talk about our new units. First up is Ephraim, he's our lord. He will be replacing Erica as the main lord after chapter 8, which is nice because he's a whole lot better than she is. He's actually got solid combat and 2 busted ass preference weapons. He's got the Regan Leaf, which is a 10 might lance rapier. And he also gets Sigmund later, which is an effective against monsters weapon that does not require S weapon rank. However, he is 5 move locked and sometimes he has to focus on seizing, so he's not going to be that good. He also has unique convoy access, which is fun sometimes, and I'll point that out when it comes up. Orson, unlike Franz, is literally Seth too, but he does fall off hard after this map. Kyle and Forde are the 2 ostensibly similar cavaliers we have, but there's a bunch of small reasons that we have to promote Forde. For one, Forde starts at level 6 while Kyle starts at level 5. This might be overcomable with some rigging, except for 2, Kyle's starting position on this map is further forward than Forde's, so on turn 1, Kyle needs to do a rescue drop instead of killing the soldier. Which maybe we could still overcome, but 3, Kyle has 9 strength to Forde's 7. For chapter 9, I need a cavalier with 9 strength, but the paladin can actually get away with less. So for all of these reasons, we're promoting Forde. Forde has started equipping a steel sword for this enemy phase, because he needs 10 sword XP by the end of chapter 8. He needs to hit C swords and he starts with D, which is 40 XP. However, promoting to Paladin does give him 30 sword XP, but he needs the last 10 the normal way. Ephraim has to stand very nearby the boss on this enemy phase in order to seize next turn, and he's going to get attacked 6 times on this enemy phase. Even with his solid bulk, he has to dodge 3, which with his 11 base speed is not that tall of an ask, but it's definitely not reliable. He does not need to crit anybody though. He goes sicko mode on this enemy phase and crits half of the guys. However, he only needs to hit all his attacks and he'll clear his way to the throne. Last thing I want to talk about on this map, that chest room on the left. It has a mage and a fighter, both of which are holding a chest key. It would have been nice to be able to get them, by killing with the Javelin. Unfortunately, Forde was monopolizing the Javelin to get XP. It's not super important. I don't need those chest keys and I can buy them instead before I do need them. But it would have been nice not to have to buy them even though money in FE8 is fake, just to save a shop trip. As a bonus from the beginning of the map where we were rigging the soldier stats, Orson can double the boss with a steel lance. Normally the boss rolls up on speed and Orson has to use a silver lance. So this does save some silver lance uses, but we don't end up needing all of them anyway, so it really doesn't matter. The last thing that I do before seizing is trade off Orson's inventory before he falls off, and that is Chapter 5X completed in 6 turns. Thanks for watching.